Ladies and gentlemen, Healthy Criticism here, and as per usual, we're taking a look at another city builder. This is Roman Triumph, and it is developed by one single guy, from what I understand in his messaging. He's a pretty cool dude. He responds to issues that are brought up on the Discord server all the time, and actively actually developing this game. When I first started playing this game, for example, it had chromatic aberration forced on with no option to change it. Well, I just made a suggestion on the server to at least add a toggle in the game, and then bam, a week later, I'm able to play the game. And then I was able to get a little bit more gameplay on and understand it and be able to cover it. So I'm really happy that he actually listened and did that. Now, if only he could remove those little ice effects around the screen during winter, but I'm definitely jumping the gun here. This is Roman Triumph again. It is a Roman-themed city builder. And it's actually pretty good, very, very difficult, very unforgiving. And if you mess up in the beginning, don't worry, you still probably have some time to kind of figure things out. But until you get your walls up, you're going to have a lot of trouble in this game. So I would say get your walls up as fast as possible. But before we get into all that gameplay shit, we're going to take a look at the settings here. We have some sound options. We have separate sliders for everything. We've got master, music, sound effects, and user interface, which is pretty cool. You have a screen shake amount, which is pretty nice, not just a toggle. Thank you for that. That's actually pretty nice to see. And some other UI elements here, as well as screen edge panning. You got the language, and you got autosave every 15 minutes. I would like to see that down to like 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, who knows. If you mess up and you have to go back 15 minutes, it's not the biggest end of the world, but you know, it's hard to fuck up so dramatically within 3 minutes that going back 3 minutes would be beneficial to you. You got some option settings here for the graphics as well. You got the resolution, screen mode, VSync, all that good stuff. FPS limit, chromatic aberration, like I said, was added and it is disabled, and it's nice to see. Depth of field is not a thing in this game, which is pretty good. If it is, I would like to see a toggle for that as well, instead of just forcing it on. And overall quality as well as anti-aliasing. I did have to drop shit dramatically here because the game is just really, really difficult to run. The optimization is just not there. I'm not quite surprised about that because of how early in its life the game is right now, but I hope that the developer does not just focus on giving us content for the game and more things to add and tweaks, and also focuses on the performance tweaking as well. So the game does need a lot of balancing. It does need a lot of content to come as well. But most importantly, he cannot forget about the optimization as well. You got some control options, which I haven't really messed with because I'm not a hotkey person when it comes to playing city builders and RTSs. But what I would like to show you after my cat leaves my feet, get the hell out of here, is what it looks like when you start a new world. So you have valley and island here. The island is experimental. So let's say I generate this. It kind of removes the world around it and gives you an island instead of a big valley. I have the valley here because you get a lot more game for your money. And you have the mountains and lakes. You can do large for the lake. It doesn't really change much in all honesty. You still have some lakes here. You have the mountains. It's highly recommended you build in a way that the mountain can shield your city, and that's kind of what I've done, and I'll show you as soon as I get to it. So you got fertility, you got moderate, high, rich, and fruitful. I would highly recommend the rich and fruitful because you won't need a lot of food after a while, and it will probably sneak up on you like it usually does in these types of games. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. Trees and small stones and richness, you can increase that by 1.8. Trees are abundant, stones are not quite. They can be quite rare, and hopefully I can recall to talk about the upkeep that the buildings have here in just a second. So then again, you randomize the seed. I don't really know if there's any good ones. This one actually seems like a really good one. You put your city here, you build a wall, and then maybe a wall here and a wall here so you can save on that wood expenditure. So that's pretty much about it. Large rock amount, I would definitely increase that to 60, and you will definitely see why. I'm not gonna get too much more into this. Let's see, regular. What would regular be? Just the size of the mountains. Let's go back into the menu. I think I'm gonna load my save here. It does tell me how much I've played in game, years and months, but not actually in real life months. But I think it's about 5 or 6 hours that I've put into this game. So, and a lot of it, none of it has been idle. I've been actively playing this game. Sometimes I will leave a game idle if I'm walking the dog, for example, but not with this one. So, as we're waiting for the loading screen, I want to say this is developed by Coreffect Interactive and published by Forklift Interactive. This key was not provided to me, even though it doesn't really change any of my opinions in the games. I did purchase this game by myself and with my own money. All right, so this is what we got here. So there's an attack imminent of a baby Hydra. It says baby Hydra. That bitch is huge. Okay, it's no laughing matter, and it is gonna mess me up a little bit. So this is gonna be iron. I'm actually low on iron. I have to activate this again because we are running out of iron by the looks of it. So that's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna start the game. It's gonna play slowly. Hopefully by the time I'm done with my talking points, I'm gonna be under attack by this baby Hydra. But here it is. This is my town hall, my castrum, my castro, as you would say. A lot of these things are pretty much Greek words that they're using, which is interesting to see for me. So like Domos, which is the Greek word for house and all that good stuff. It's nice to see. I like the Roman times. They remind me of a better time that we're never going to live in. So this is how it works. You have your resources here. You got your wood, stone, clay, brick, food, gold, weapons, tools, cloth, and we got the iron, which is going down, but it's going back up again, which is pretty nice. This is going to be my blacksmith. They're creating that. My clothes factory can actually chill for a bit because, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. I have a surplus of people anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. This is your job priorities here. This is where you can move up and down the job priority so more people fill in that spot. So, you know, we have archers here, which are going to be plentiful as soon as the wood gathering is done being executed. So it's going to be higher in the priority. If I needed more archers on my walls, I would probably just increase the height of that so they can have more archers in the wall. But I might actually need some here because I have deactivated these towers, which don't actually need any upkeep, which is really important. So what is upkeep, right? Upkeep, for example, this is a temple. It tells you here, monthly upkeep consumption. It needs 7 stone, 3 gold, and 3 bricks. Right? I'm generating a lot of gold. I'm generating about 103, as you can see, and the consumption is 61 from the upkeep that I need to do on my buildings, which is a lot, right? These buildings here, the hospital only need, the hotel, it needs 1 wood and 1 brick, which is not a lot. This one needs 10 stone. This one needs 2 wood, and the higher the level, the more it needs as well. Academia means this is where you do your research. I'll show you that in a second. It needs 7 wood, 7 brick, and 3 stone. As you can see, those add up. If you go here, I'm generating a whopping 206 stone every month, and only 27 of that is being kept to me. So you have some stones here. I don't think I can pick those stones up. I can actually. Okay, I had missed those, which is interesting. Stone does not regenerate in the game. However, you do have an endless supply of resources when you mine a resource node. We need accelerated advancement, production blessing. Well, let's do the accelerated advancement so we can accelerate faster. So you have these large stones, you have an iron ore here. Those never end, and they can be constantly mined for resources, which is really, really important. I'm going to pause that so I can start a new research here soon. And it's nice, but they don't, you can upgrade them as well. So each building has an upgrade, so I can do an enhanced tools, which I think I've already done. Actually, I need more iron, which I do not have. Is that it? No. I think if I deactivate upgrades, Not enough resources to upgrade. I need 25 iron. Okay, so I may have fucked up this, but whatever. It's all good. So I had to actually recently expand on this area right here to get some more stone, and even that is not sufficient enough. Like I'm still on the verge of being bankrupt on stone, and if you cannot maintain those buildings, they're just not going to produce anything for you. They're just going to get deactivated. So homes, for example, right? If you don't have any wood or brick to maintain those buildings, they're not going to operate. So then all your people are going to be homeless, and you're going to have to process some more wood. Now, obviously, there's plenty of wood to go around here, and there is a lot of stone if I just collect it from the ground. I don't have any more big stones in my area. You can do the overlay here, and you can hit that, and it's going to show you there's some iron here, there's some stone all the way out here that I'm already mining. There's some more stone out here, but it's pretty far. It is quite far. And stockpiles do not actually connect with each other, so the people would have to go get the resources. That's enough on that subject matter. I do think they need to the developer needs to optimize the upkeep on the buildings a little bit, and then it's going to make things a little bit easier on you. The game already is surprisingly challenging enough. I don't think we need more challenges up in here with this game, but it is what it is. What we're going to do now is going to go into the research tree. This is a research tree. You have some categories here. You got food, houses and monuments, industry, services, and city defense. As you can see, city defense is quite large on my end here because you do need to research some defense for your city. On this here, eventually I'm going to do baking so I can get some more use out of my farms. Actually, you know what? Might as well do it now since I'm here. I need 210 gold, which is I don't have it because of the upkeep again. Industry is very, very expensive to do. So not this one. I think services is very. This is for a justice. You need 378 gold, which is crazy. It's just crazy to get that much gold. You cannot trade for gold just yet. I think there was a suggestion for that in the server. For now, I want to worry about the food or the industry. What do I want to worry about? I'm probably going to do this so I can mine iron a little bit faster. I do want to do the food. The food is important. I'm going to go and create baking. Actually, I cannot. We'll do pig farms. So then we can do butchering and sell the meat and sausage, which is going to give us a little bit more food, which is nice. We're going to do that. Research is happening. I'm going to resume the game, and hopefully this Hydra is going to come soon. And building defenses again is going to be very important in this game because early on you're going to get bombarded by barbarians. There's an attack every year, and it is not easy to defend against. Now, as you can see, I have my archers on my walls, which is really nice. Do not upgrade your walls while there's archers on them. So this wall right here, oh, what did I do? What is this brick wall? No, we're gonna cancel this. Yeah, we're gonna demolish that. Hopefully I didn't move it. Yeah, I think I just built it. That's all right. So I have my archers on my walls. If you try to go here and upgrade the wall into a brick wall, make sure there's no archers on that wall because they will die. I did that right before an attack. I lost all my archers, and I had nothing to defend against the barbarians. Thankfully, the people I was training came back to life very quickly, and eventually they defended my city. But they had already made their way in here, destroying all my buildings, and I had to rebuild everything. So right now my food production is dreadfully low because it is not maintained by the iron ore. Save here is going to be, hopefully it's going to be more accessible for me to upgrade it. And I have not enhanced this quarry here, so let's do that. That's pretty nice. This is going to give me a little bit more stone. We're going to go up to 35 a month. Now, while we wait for the Hydra, real quick, there are gods that you can favor. You have Ceres, you have Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. Each one gives you certain bonuses that you can utilize to make your empire grow a little bit faster. Each one pertaining to whatever that god is about. For example, Mars is going to be all effects with the military. So let's see if I want to throw a small, what I want to do, I want to offer food to Mars, and I'm going to do this one. Let's go Mars here. I don't have much food to give, and I am on a deficit, so I'm actually not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait for these guys to give me some more wood. Now, I've reached almost my capacity on houses. I don't have any vacant beds anymore, and I have 2 homeless. So what I need to do is actually build a hotel of sorts. I'm going to put it right here. Can I put it right here? Let's see. I'm going to put you right here, actually. Yep, so I can have the road going both ways, which is nice. Now the Hydra has spawned. And where is this Hydra? Here it is. That's a baby Hydra. They get bigger. You get flying enemies, you get dragons that attack you, you get a significant amount of barbarians that can actually come and whoop your ass. It's not an easy game for sure. And this Hydra is headed straight to my camp. Hopefully it goes to where all my archers are on the wall. And I do not see that be the case. Why is it going this way and not this way? It should be going to this gate. I think it's going to go to my walls, or yeah. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to pause the game real quick here. I'm going to have to take these guys. I'm going to have to put them right here. And then I'm going to have to take, let's see, these guys, these 4 guys. I'm going to put them right here. And then maybe you can go here, you can go here, and you can do that fast. Let's do that fast. Let's do that as fast as you can, so we can start attacking this Hydra. Thankfully, it is attacking my gate, which is my strongest building on this wall. And why are these archers not doing anything? That's not a good thing. I'm going to put them a little closer. Yep, they're attacking now. And as you can see, I'm sort of cheesing the game. The game is forcing my hand on this one. I'm not going to lie. I get too happy. I get a lot of food from this Hydra. I needed it. I absolutely needed this food. So, the building is destroyed, but do not fret. You can just rebuild it very quickly. And that was it. What I can do is build more wood archer towers behind this part of the wall. And of course, they're going to attack the enemy with maximum delicacy. And my shit's going to be safe. So if the Hydra had kept going into the city, that would have been bad because I don't have any towers in my city. However, I do have all these archers that could be attacking it from a distance. Safe and sound. The Hydra would have probably focused on the buildings, and that would have been it. The longer you survive, the stronger the enemies will get. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to have to invest in your defense infrastructure. And even though I have a surplus of iron of 9, these are still not being maintained very well. The advanced harvesting is enabled. This needs advanced harvesting as well, but I do not have iron. Of course, there is an iron ore right here that I can actually utilize, and another one right here. The forester is not going to be too bothered by it, so I'm not worried about that. It's my hunter here. You can move buildings freely. You cannot move any defensive buildings, but you can move any other building just fine. I think you cannot move your main building, but yeah, everything else you can move just fine. So besides that, it's just the basic city survival stuff that you have to worry about on the research tree. You should probably research safe mining very, very quickly. Safe quarrying here. Every time I look on this chat, somebody has died from mining. So as you can see, this one has died at the brickworks, which is pretty nice because it's at the mines, but they're still gonna die, and that's gonna keep your population growth at a halt slightly, but it's not gonna be too detrimental. So my builders are building that, which is nice. I think from now where I can go is actually build some walls here. It's kind of hard to build. Maybe expand on this area. Build a wall here. Expand the wall here or to this lake. Have a second line of defense. Expand this from here to here maybe. Get these guys more secure. These are active and mining, which is pretty nice. I might have to actually build a second iron mine, and I'm going to do that right now. You do have to build them on the node right here. There's an object on the way. So what I can do, I really dislike the fact that that's a thing. The trees prevent me from building things. I do have to take the trees down. So you do have to clear the resources down before you actually are able to put the building down. It's just an extra step that you have to do. I'm hoping that gets patched so that it automatically destroys the trees that are there. So you can see I can build it this way. I can't build it this way. I was actually really hoping to build it this way. I might as well just build it this way. It's fine. Can I move it afterwards? You can move it afterwards. So that's no big deal there. You just have to let it rebuild itself once you do that. So where do we go from here? Well, there's some things that are not released yet. So if we go into the research here, we see catapult and flamethrower, and then catapult fire projectiles is not here yet. We have the library that is not here yet. In the industry, we have diplomacy that is not here yet. We have some decorative arches. There's some things on the research tree here that have not arrived just yet. There is a trading that you can do. I don't really utilize it. I try to be as independent as I can. It's just not too important for me to trade right now. I haven't really needed to. So they desire these resources and they offer these resources. Maybe I can get some iron from these guys. This guy needs wood and gives iron. So let's say we're going to do... I do have a decent amount of wood, so I'm just going to send... Oh, actually... it's the same amount that they require. It's a lot easier to get wood than brick. So I'm going to send 44 wood and get 11 iron back. One time, start trade. Sadly, however, with the trading, an event can happen and then you can lose all your resources. Both the ones that you sent and the ones that you will receive. So I think most recently one of my caravans got attacked and that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. 330 gold can suck my ass. Okay, absolutely deplorable, and it's more expensive than the baking. Better food storage unlocks better food storage, upgrade for a large food storage. I already have a decent amount of food storage. I'm not going to waste 100 gold on that. So where do we go from here, right? Let's see. I mean, I can unlock the large hotel or the villas. I can go for the villas. I can do industry. I can't do this either. I can do large storage, I guess. Let's do large storage because I have these small stockpiles and not really doing much for me right now. I can move this zone to this area maybe. Sure, let's all have them be on this area. That's okay. These are actually the same exact area. I don't know if I did that on purpose or not, but that's pretty impressive. I think this is a good setup right now. There's a lot working with it. You have to maintain the favor of the gods to not anger them, otherwise you're going to be plagued with their curses, and you do not want that. They're just children. You have to offer them shit, and it's can be argued a waste of time, but it's part of the mechanics, and you have to deal with it. So the more you research, the more you have to worry about. The bigger the city, the more income, the more mouths to feed. The more workers, the more mouths to feed. As you can see right now, I'm still making do with my lack of food production. As soon as my iron ore decides to send me some fucking resources here, I'm going to be able to actually maintain my buildings. But so far, that hasn't happened. I'm still on 0. I'm wondering if this is a bug. This very well could be a bug right now because it's very, very low. I'm gonna try to fast forward so I can get to this iron mine built and see if it's indeed a bug. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. You kind of saw what the game is all about. Then you can pretty much decide for yourself if you like it. I personally like it. I also personally think a lot of optimization and balancing has to take place. The way you cheese the AI right now is not the best. The AI does tend to attack the gates, which are the strongest parts of your city. What I can also do is, okay, middle mouse builds, which is pretty nice. I can actually build a bunch of gates here and stop them if they go through my defenses. There's a lot of ways I can cheese it. The AI is not the best, but it's not, you know, terrible. You do need the AI to be a little stupid in this game because it will overwhelm you with how much it throws at your face. And as you can see, what I was talking about with the strategy here, my city is next to this mountain. The more mountains around you and lakes, the less walls you have to build, and you will have to build a lot of walls. Because eventually here, if I expand on this area, for example, I'll have to build a wall that goes all the way up here and then to the lake, and then from this lake to this mountain, so I can utilize it. So there you have it. This is Roman Triumph. It's 25 bucks. I think I got it when it released on April 3rd, April 5th. I think April 3rd is when it released, and I bought it on April 5th. I think it was like 25 or 30% off at launch. Even at 25 bucks, it's not a terrible price. I would rather play this than Super Mario World for $80 or $90 or however the fuck much money Nintendo's gonna decide to pay to charge people to play some games anymore. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. It's gonna be a hard one to see. So there you have it. It's good. It's way promising, and I'm sure that the developer's not going to give up on this project. This is a labor of love, and I trust him. So there you have it. I hope you found this useful, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.